Alrighty, you know what time it is? It's BattleCast time. We've been doing the Zero to Hero series that we've been posting the last couple days about. That's been super fun. Where basically we're leveling up with different members of the community. By the way, if anyone would like to join on that and wants to be part of that, just hit me up with the DM and Discord. It doesn't matter if you just anyway. The whole point of this is to showcase the community. So I don't care if you played for 2 weeks or 25 years, or you are terrible at PK, or you don't know how to XP or whatever. Just hit me up and we'll play. So anyway, with enough of that, let's get into a BattleCast video. So. BattleCast is all about PK, right? This video was sent to me by Nazgum, but it's not a Nazgum video. This is actually a Kraagh duel video, and he actually posted this on his YouTube channel, so I will also be posting a link to that video in the description of my video. So, but this is like a reaction type of thing. Anyway, let's get into it, okay? So, first thing that we see here is that we are in the Dark Tower area again. As you can see, I don't know if we can see the mouse, but we're just gonna hope we can. But yeah, we're in the Dark Tower area again. It looks like he's a caster here, so he's got 215 hit points, 140 mana. Whew, that's a lot of mana, which I guess is kind of normal for casters these days, but it is what it is, and a fair number of moves. Over here, so everyone's kind of got their own setups. Once you start getting into like PK land and you've been playing for a while, everyone has their own setups. Looks like this guy's probably using Mudlet because he's got his own like timer situation here. Down here, we also see he has some Charmies, which we'll see in the log here in a second. But that means that this is most likely going to be it's almost definitely going to be a Charmy PK log. And Charmies are basically animals that have been bewitched by a player, so now they will do his bidding. They're kind of like his servants now, which add a major layer of complexity to any type of battle. So we'll see this happening probably in this log. Again, I haven't seen it, but Charmies make everything more complicated. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's get into it. I'm probably pausing this a lot, but it is what it is. All right, so right off the bat, we've got Jadis, the Black Numenorian. This guy is playing hardcore mode. There's no like highlights on his names or anything. Wow, that's brutal. But so Jadis, what am I saying? Jadis comes in, the Black Numenorian. And it looks like he's in the Dark Tower right now. So, kind of like I mentioned in my last video of a BattleCast, right? This is a light side character. He's in a dark side stronghold right now. At least it's probably a dark side stronghold. It can flip, but it usually is dark side. Which means that he's probably got his back against the wall here a little bit. Maybe he was waiting for this dude and trapping. I don't really know exactly how this works, what the backstory here was. But the important thing here is that Jadis also has 2 Charmies. Okay, so this is going to be a Charmy battle. They're both going to be trying to charm each other. So I think at the beginning of I can't believe I'm going back already. But in the very beginning, we saw that Kraagh duel blocked the exit west. So that this exit right here, which is kind of hard to see on this map, but this leads into a kind of a safe place, usually for dark side characters. And then there's an exit here and there's an exit here. There is an exit up here. I should say there's a door on the left here. There's a door to the south. You can go north, but it's a dead end. So basically he pre-blocked west. So now that this door is inoperable, and now when Jadis comes in, he blocks south. So now both of these guys are kind of locked into a 2-roomer fight. Let's see, does the block go through? The block does go through. So now they are in a 2-roomer fight. Okay, so, and now he goes north, and these are where his Charmies are. Okay, again, I'm sorry for talking so much here, but that's the point of this, right? It's to kind of explain how PK works. In this scenario, you're in a 2-roomer, and you're also inside. We got 2 casters here, so they're going to be doing a Charmy battle and also trying to be casting on each other. What's very normal, if you're inside, especially in a 2-roomer, you are going to expect quakes. Quakes are AoE spells, so area of effect spells. They're going to hit everything in the room, but they do massive damage indoors. And usually you can store about 4 of them, which basically means you can cast it, and even if you're interrupted, it'll still go through. But very common in these situations. They both have Charmies, which means that if they use Quake, that they're going to lose their Charmies if their Charmies are in the room. They lose control over them. which is bad. So usually that means you're either going to quake in a last ditch scenario, or you're going to flee away from your charmies or have them be in a different room and then quake in the other room. So your charmies might, let's say, be in the north room and you'd be in the south room and you'd be quaking the south room. And what this does is this forces the enemy player to either eat your quakes and eat all that damage, or sit in the north room and have to deal with all those charmies beating on them, right? We will see how this goes down, but again, I haven't seen it, but that's normally how this, like, what you should be thinking about in this scenario, how it's about to play down. So let's see what actually happens. Okay, so he's got his charmies, and this is where a lot of the complexity comes in, because his charmies right now are hitting the enemy player, but he's not hitting the enemy player. So he's having to kind of like hit through these charmies, because he doesn't do a lot of hit damage himself because he's a caster, right? But then you have to like control them, so you have to flee them out of the room and all this extra complexity. And Jadis is trying to do the same thing. Something to keep in mind here. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a long log run, 14 seconds in. Jadis is using the command kill elf. Charmies don't recognize the command elf or dwarf or man when it comes to player killing. You have to give them the name of the player. So you have to say target Jadis or target Kraagh in order for them to actually attack the thing. All right, he's going for blinds on Jadis, which again, kind of an interesting move. And he did land the blind. So Jadis is now blind. He's probably going to try to cast Cure Blindness. And he's using his orders, all these spam, these issues to order, is him talking to his charmies and telling them what to do, right? So right now he's trying to get his charmies to rescue Jadis. Now, Lithe Orcs are very good at rescuing, so that'll probably work here. One thing to keep in mind, though, so Jadis has 2 Lithe Orcs. And Lithe Orcs are good at rescuing, they're good at bashing, they have good moves, but they're not particularly beefy, right? They die pretty easily. Kraagh over here, it looked like he's got 2 Mountain Trolls and a Great Wild Boar. Great Wild Boar is very weak hit point wise and doesn't do that much damage, but it is really good at bashing or CCing his opponent. The Mountain Trolls here, they do a lot of damage. They have a ton of hit points. They can't bash, though. However, these charmies will destroy Jadis's charmies any day of the week. So he's already got a pretty beefy advantage here, just because his army hits harder. Okay, so he's trying to he's trying to shoot. Oh, he's shrouding himself. Oh, so that the dark orcs don't try to hit him. Okay, so Kraagh is pretty much out of mana right now. He's icy and cold mana, so he's having to rely on his charmies to do all the work. It also means that if he was going to go the Quake route, he doesn't really have mana for Quake. So at this point, you might want to be piping or using your stone to try to get more mana, or of course, just trying to hit Jadis as much as possible, right? Now, what you're definitely trying to do here is both of these guys are reliant, since they're both casters, they're reliant on their armor spells. So if you can get them to hit the charmies to hit the other person enough, you can have them lose their armor spell, and then they're very, very weak and they take even more damage. And then you want to make sure they really can't run away and never have a chance to cast armor to get back into position. One thing you could be doing here, so a strategy that you could be doing if you're Jadis or Kraagh, is trying to kill the enemy person's charmies first and then kill them. Because if they lose the charmies, then they're more or less defenseless unless they're quaking. Actually, is that what happened here? No, that's not what happened here. So if I was Jadis right now, if I had the mana, I would absolutely be quaking. He might not have the mana. He might be trying to save his charms. We don't know exactly what's happening here. He might have been surprised on this whole endeavor. There are technically some. So in the north room here, there are these dark-skinned orcs and the female orcs. They don't really do much damage, but they will interrupt, so they do attack, and that makes it hard for Kraagh to kind of do what he wants here. Not a big deal, just an extra layer of complexity. So far, they're just kind of running back and forth, trying to hit each other with charmies. Oh, and Jadis died, actually. Wow, so I missed that entirely. All right, so we're back around here. He's having the charmies hit Jadis. Jadis hasn't been able to re-armor or anything. And, right there, he dies. Oh, actually, so he goes in cap right here. Right here, he goes incapacitated, which means that his next hit kills him and he can't move or anything. And then, unfortunately for Kraagh, he flees out, goes back down south here. And then that's when you hear the death cry from the south, or I guess he flees north. You hear the death cry from the south. That means that Jadis died when he was not in the room, which means that Kazuo doesn't get any of the XP, which kind of sucks, but it is what it does. Okay, so wow, we got a lot more of this log to go here, and he's already dead, so we'll see. Oh, Kazuo is technically playing Gris right now, it looks like. Okay, so it looks like he's going to kill the Lithe Orcs, right? Because the Charmies that Jadis had are not going to just disappear, right? They're still going to be there, and you have to kill them, get rid of them. He's just not controlling them anymore. So he's killing them, and he's looking at the corpse of Jadis and seeing if he wants anything. And let's see what else happens here. So again, this isn't Dark Tower, and because these little mini orcs are here, it means that the tower is in fact dark side, which means that, okay, he killed Jadis, but he's in the middle of a all right, so what he did here, Gris was on cold mana, and he did what's called smoking. Okay, smoking, you pull out a pipe and you smoke some pipe weed, and sometimes it'll boost your mana up, give you a little jolt of mana, which is great, because he was cold mana, you wanted a little more mana. But sometimes it goes the opposite way, so he went from cold to frozen, which basically means he went from about 30 mana to 0 mana, so that was very unfortunate for him. This is all the stuff that's in the corpse of Jadis right now. Given that this log keeps continuing, I need to stop pausing it. But given that it keeps continuing, my guess is that he gets there are evil folks outside waiting to come in once these blocks wear off. And again, once you're in this scenario, right, as I mentioned in the beginning, okay, he blocked the doors, so that means that the Black Numenorian Jadis couldn't escape, but it also means that Gris can't escape, which means that if people are waiting outside these doors, he might get kind of reverse trapped, and we will see if that ends up happening. Right now, he's just sorting through the equipment, seeing if he needs anything. So pretty standard procedure. After you kill someone, you'll loot the equipment or whatever you need. Looks like he's leaving most there, which is very nice. This is actually a point of contention as long as nothing happening here. This is super unpopular, and probably no one's going to want to listen to me after this. But I think there's a lot of there's a lot of player drama that's created through the etiquette of whether or not you leave stuff in the corpse or you don't leave stuff in the corpse. Like, it's nice if you don't leave, or if you leave stuff in the corpse, obviously, like, people get to come back and get the stuff. But it creates this very annoying moral problem, because, like, you're in the middle of a war, right? And you should be trying to, get every advantage you can for your side. But it's a small community and people know each other, and sometimes they kill each other, and then they sometimes they'll need the equipment and they'll take the equipment, or they won't take the equipment, they'll leave it there, but then someone else comes and takes the equipment, so that when the original owner comes back to his corpse and tries to loot and it's not there, then they're like, well, why'd you take my stuff? And it kind of creates this whole drama, which I think is very unfortunate for the community, because people kind of get at each other's throats a lot of times unnecessarily because of that. I almost think it would be better if you just can't loot your corpse. Like, you just can't. Like, any equipment that you had on when you died is now, like, cursed kind of a thing, and you can't hold it anymore and touch it. And that kind of just creates this like level playing field of it's not, you never have to worry about, like, oh, were they being a dick or not? It's just like, okay, well, I died and I can't use my equipment anymore. And if you're at the level of PKing, well, this is probably not great. A great example, but for the most part, high level equipment is very easy to get. Super high level, like best in slot equipment, yeah, okay, that can take several hours to get. But like a very good set that is very playable, I mean, you can do it in 30 minutes. Anyway, it creates a lot of drama being able to loot someone's corpse, or specifically not being able to loot someone's corpse. I feel like it would solve a lot of problems, a lot of social problems, community problems, if you just could not use any equipment that was on you before you died. Because then it's like, oh, it's not, oh, this guy was a dick. It's just like, okay, well, the equipment's gone because I died, right? Anyway, so all he's doing here is just kind of regenning. Nothing's actually happening. I think he used a mana potion, which brings his mana up. You can tell because his mana is now higher. He's got a higher max mana than he had before. And it helps you regen very quickly. Yep, and now it drops down because it's kind of you have very high mana for a little while, then you have a little bit less high mana, and your regen's still kind of high. So you have really high regen, kind of high regen, and then for a couple minutes you have kind of lower than usual regen / mana. But it's good at like very quickly topping you off. But oftentimes you'll do this if you have a little break in between action and you need to get back to full. So right now he's kind of spam opening the doors west and south because he expects someone to be there ready to oh, he's going to try to break the door. Okay, so now Jadis is there. He's waiting for him, but Jadis doesn't have any equipment and doesn't have any backup, so he's not much of a threat. Okay, so let's see here. It looks like Kraagh's duel or Gris right now. He's just killing some of the mobs, or no, he's going deeper into the tower. Or I shouldn't say deeper into the tower. He's just in the middle of the tower right now, looking around, killing some of the mobs in here. Jadis is probably looting his corpse right now. Again, this is kind of an etiquette thing. Like, he killed them, and now he's giving him time to go loot his corpse, which is nice. Like, but sometimes people don't give that, right? And it kind of creates, again, like this weird parasocial, not parasocial is probably the wrong word, but like this weird social contract of like, okay, I killed you, I'm gonna let you loot your corpse, but like sometimes you can't do that, and then people get butt hurt and stuff. And I've been there. I've absolutely been there. Life is just easier if you just don't loot your corpse. I feel like that should be like an enforced thing. Anyway, so he's killing the mobs right now. No actual action. This is still kind of risky because Jadis is around, and Jadis could come in and quake or whatever, right? But Jadis is in a weakened condition. Also, since he's a Black Numenorian and he just died, that means he has depression, which means that his mana pool is even lower than usual for the next 30 minutes or so, which is very unfortunate. So Jadis doesn't really pose that much of a threat. The bigger threat that he would be encountering right now is if more dark side players come and enter the tower, and he's still inside the tower, and then they block him in, and he has to fight to the death. But right now he's got these charmies, which are very powerful charmies, so it would take at least 1 to 2 other players to really pose a serious threat, because right now Jadis is kind of like a half character at best. He's not that strong. He's weak. He doesn't have his spells up probably, or he's got a couple spells up. He's still probably relatively low mana from doing that though, and again, he's got lower mana than usual, and also he's a Black Numenorian, so he's already just weak. Anyway, so this has so far been a lot of XP. He's just killing stuff in the tower, specifically in the middle portion of the tower. Let's see what ends up happening here. Alright, so he is creating another potion here. This one is, what is this, traveling? Oh, look at this. He's got a little like, door key thing. Very nice. It's a very optimized setup. A mug of brew. I think that's walking, actually. No, it can't be. It's got to be clear thought. Oh, wow. And he's got this little tick counter over here that shows how much is left of his buff. That's crazy. That's so good. That should be the default. That is really well done. Genius, actually. Okay, and now he's going to make... So basically what he's doing is he's making these potions in case he needs them, and then he'll quaff the potions if he runs into a situation where he's really low mana. So he's kind of planning ahead in case... It looks like he's expecting a fight. He's expecting more people to come. So this is probably going to turn into a bit more of a battle here. A Hungry Warg is around, but that might just be one from inside the tower. Okay, we're pretty close to the end. So if something's going to happen, I would assume it's going to happen relatively soon. So right now he's curing up his charmies because his charmies did take some damage from killing all those mobs. Mobs are just NPCs. Okay. He's probably going to go for blinds. Yeah, he's blinding the orcs to a classic. Oh, let's see here. Jadis and Kraagh, the orc, is here. Okay, so Jadis has backup now. Now it's a 2v1, but he's got his charmies, so this is actually a relatively even fight. If anything, I might almost still favor him a tiny bit, but it really depends. He is going for the kill, though, so he is starting to block exits. Let's see here. He's in this kind of middle section of the tower right now. So unlike before where it was just 2 room, right now he's got several more rooms to play with. But he did kill a lot of the mobs, so he doesn't have to worry too much about being in the middle of their stronghold. Okay, so where is he right now? All right, so he's in the top two rooms. Top two rooms. This is a problem because there are several orc mobs here. So you're fighting two players and several orc mobs. Again, you've got Charmies, which are great, but so he's moving around here. The Charmies are probably getting a little bit low, but he did also blind a lot of those orcs, the orc mobs. So in this situation, what he did is he blinded a lot of the orc mobs, so the orc mobs are not actually helping that much. He just ate a bash from Kraagh. Kraagh looks like, okay, so wait, what just, hold on a second. What just blocked? Someone blocked something. Okay, so he ate the bash. Right now he's in the middle room right here. So this, well, I guess this is like the entrance room. So you can flee to out south. I guess no one blocked anything. No, he did block. He blocked the exit down. Okay, so now it looks like the only two rooms that he can be in are exit up and exit, or so like the top of the tower and this entrance room. South might be blocked as well, but now he's in a two-roomer. So in this situation, this is actually quite. This is probably a bad situation for Gris. This is a bad situation. Once all these tall brown-skinned orcs right here, they are blind, so they're not helping. But the blind will not last much longer. So once the blind wears off, then this will be a very dangerous room for him. Basically, he needs to do whatever he needs to do and try to kill them and win before that happens. Now, he does have a lot of mana, so we'll see what his move is here, how he plays it. He's keeping the trolls down south, and he's trying to Dispel Evil the orc. Dispel Evil does a ton of damage to the orc, specifically. It looks like the orc mobs now are unblinding. You see they're starting to attack him, so now life gets very difficult for him. If he had something like Protection from Evil up, which he does have Protection from Evil up, that gives him a little bit of breather room where the evil mobs will take a second to actually hit him. So it gives him maybe a chance to get a spell off, but it doesn't work versus players, so the players might just... all right, so he's getting rescued here by his trolls. Rescue also locks you up, though, so you're actually kind of CC'd for a second. All right, something died below. All right, so he's using Word of Recall. He's trying to get out of here. Word of Recall is basically a teleport spell, but it just moves you to a room that's close by. But it has a long cast time, and it can be interrupted. So they are trying to make sure that he can't do that. And he's trying to cast it quick. Oh, he made it. He made it. Just barely. Okay, so that's all there was to that. Yeah. He basically was fleeing up and down because he was about to lose, right? And then he cast a quick Word of Recall. Good presence of mind to be able to do that. And that got him to safety. Great log. Great log. A lot of more complexity there, again, because it was a charming log, but hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of how mage combat works a little, or I guess this would be kind of cleric combat for him because he's using Dispel Evil, but how caster combat works in Mew. So anyway, peace.